of the reasons I started this channel was because I thought more people would have latched onto this by now than I could explain one of the things that happened to me when I met Tony Blair. It took me 5 years to get to meet the guy. I had to join the Labour Party to do so. Literally, I was 2 people away from him. And this guy comes up to me and said, "Oh, don't mention to Tony what you've been writing about." I said, "It's taken me 5 years to get here. You think I'm not going to say something?" And he said, "And in which case you'll be removed." And I said, "I'm not the biggest guy in the world, mate, but neither are you. You're not going to stop me." And he said, "Oh, I didn't say I would stop you." And he looked around and all the guys, bald head, earpieces in, you know, the usual. I'm like, I'm going to get shot, aren't I? It's like mad lunatic gets shot at a Tony Blair event. And I was like, that's interesting. So I had to make it memorable. So what did I say to him? I shook his hand and I didn't let go. It was an embarrassingly long time. I shook his hand and I said, "Well, I can't tell you what I mean to tell you about. I'm being prevented from doing so. So I'll just say this, Tony. I think you're the greatest Prime Minister this country has ever had." And he said to me, "Well, there's not many people saying that at the moment." And I did say to him, "I think you've just thrown your legacy under the bus by engaging in this war. Yeah, I don't really think you should have got into that. But that's irrelevant. I need you to remember my name." And I told him my name. And I said, "Can you remember that?" And he said, "Yes." And I walked away, took about 20-25 paces. I turned around and shouted, "Tony, what was my name again?" He shouted my name back at me. Thumbs up. "Thank you, Tony. Thank you." I then went to see his agent, who I had been in contact with for the 5 years. He didn't look up at me, but I knew him from pictures. He was kneeling, sort of hunched down a bit. I stood next to him and I said, "Hello, John. My name is blah, blah, blah." And he said, "Bah, lad," he didn't look up at me. He said, "Bah, lad, you've been through the mill, haven't you?" And I said, "No, not really. I don't wake up in the morning, wonder if I'm going to get beaten to a pulp, wonder if I'm going to get overdosed with medication, underdosed with medication," which is probably like a World War I trench to somebody with mental illness. I said, "No." I said, "Hang on a minute. I lost my marriage, I lost my kids, I lost my job, I lost my pension. But no, I still don't wake up in the morning thinking, am I going to get beaten to a pulp? So, actually, no, I don't think I have been through the mill." And he said to me at that point, "I think we need to get Sherry to look at your case." Sherry Blair, human rights lawyer. I thought, fantastic. 2 weeks later, you bloody left office. So, yeah, there's a bit of a story behind why I do this. I did hope a few more people would have been watching by now, but as we all know, some people don't like the truth. There's a lot more to that story. If I get a few more subscribers, then I may just get round to telling it. I wrote a whole book about it. Actually, I wrote 2.